but it's a non-abortion providing Planned Parenthood, okay? So that would be a green dot, okay? The goal was to turn every green dot in a yellow area to a red dot. Red dots are abortion providing Planned Parenthoods. That is the goal of CAPS. That is the only goal of CAPS. They are proactively seeking out Planned Parenthood non-abortion providing centers and turning them in to abortion providing centers. How does that fit in with their mission and their goal of prevention? It doesn't. Planned Parenthood is not about preventing abortions. Planned Parenthood is about making society accept that abortion is an acceptable method of birth control, and we are here to say that that is not okay with us. Planned Parenthood is really good at scheming and being sneaky, if you didn't know. And they are doing something very, very interesting in Iowa, and I'm going to tell you about it. The last National Abortion Federation conference I went to, I was talking to a guy named Todd. Todd is on the board of the National Abortion Federation, and he's one of the higher-ups of Planned Parenthood Greater Iowa. And he was telling us about this brilliant idea that he had come up with and that they were using in PP of Greater Iowa. And I did look on a map. I'm not very good at geography, but I did look on a map and I did see that Iowa is kind of close to you guys. So this does affect you guys. Okay. So I really didn't know where Iowa. I was like, what is Iowa? Okay. No, I did look though, and it is like 2 states away. Okay. So, so anyway, he was telling us about this method of administering abortions that he was really, really proud of. And most states have a state regulation where it says that that a physician must administer, that's the word in the regulation, the physician must administer the RU-486 medication, okay, which is the mifeprex pill. That's what actually detaches the baby from the uterus and makes it no longer viable or living. Okay, so that's what actually causes the abortion, okay, that pill. Well, anyway, Todd said, I've got the best idea. This is the way we can get around the law. We're going to make this happen, and then we're going to distribute it all throughout the United States. This is our plan. We're going to start in Iowa, and we're going to spread out. That's why I looked at the map, because I want to see how close you guys were. You're close. Okay, so this is the way it worked. Todd said that he took a computer monitor, a webcam, a keyboard, a cash drawer, and a computer, PC. He took it to this basement where there were a bunch of like computer techie people with 1 million bottles of empty Mountain Dew. And he took it to them and he said, here's $200, this is what I want this to do, see if you can make it happen, okay? And they said, okay. So he went back a few days later and they had made it work like he wanted to. And so this is what happened. In Iowa, like a lot of states, their main center is in Des Moines. And they have a lot of very rural clinics throughout the state. And, you know, let's say one of them is, I don't know, Turkey Creek. Anything with an animal sounds rural to me. Okay, so Turkey Creek, okay? That sounds like something would be in Texas. Turkey Creek, Iowa, okay? And it may be 3 hours. A lot of their centers are 2 or 3 hours from Des Moines, okay? And so very small rural town. And they want to go ahead and implement abortion services at that town through medication abortion, okay? So this is what they do. They have a doctor in Des Moines. They set up these computers in all the rural clinics. They have no doctor there, okay? So this is what happens. Woman comes in for an abortion, they do her counseling, tell her what's gonna happen, kind of. Then they say, okay, you ready to take your pill and get all your medicine? Yes, okay. They sit her in front of the camera with the webcam, monitor with the webcam. They, BlackBerry text the doctor or something, we have a patient ready. The doctor gets in front of her webcam, pushes a button, now she's connected to the Turkey Creek Clinic, okay? Now she's like webcam to webcam, face to face, with the patient in Turkey Creek. Okay, so now they're looking at each other via the webcam. Then she says to the patient, the doctor says to the patient, are you ready to take your pill? For the abortion. And she says yes. Okay? The doctor pushes a button on her keyboard. That button opens the cash drawer in Turkey Creek where the RU-486 abortion pill is sitting in the cash drawer. Isn't this crazy? The woman takes the pill, and that's how they're skirting around the law that the doctor is administering the medication. Here's the scary thing. Planned Parenthood will not officially write a standard of care, a standard of patient care, and they won't write a protocol for anything until 1,000 patients have been experimented on. So they've been trying to keep this really hush-hush, and obviously I don't care about their secret since I'm telling all of you. They've been trying to keep this really hush-hush until they get 1,000 patients to use this type of method. But the scariest thing about this is that there are so many rural clinics that don't have access to an emergency room. I mean, the closest emergency room may be 60 to 120 miles away. And the doctor's in Des Moines, which may be 3 hours away. And I can tell you one thing, if you have an abortion with an abortionist, you will never see that abortionist again for follow-up care. They are only there for the abortion. They are not there for your follow-up. Sometimes a woman may have a surgical abortion and the doctor's gone before she's even out of recovery. They're not interested in patient care. So if this woman has a serious complication and she starts hemorrhaging or has some kind of blood clot in her uterus, her closest hospital may be an hour or two away. And that may be too late. This is scary, and this is something that the National Abortion Federation and Planned Parenthood Federation of America is ready to, once they get this standard of care in place, after they see 1,000 patients with this method, they are ready to roll this out nationwide. We have to be ready to work with our legislators. We have to be ready to work with whoever we can and say, no way. Not in our state. This is not okay. We are not going to have cash drawers dispensing abortion pills to our patients. This is not acceptable. More laws do make it difficult. But laws aren't enough. I'm here to tell you that if Roe v. Wade was overturned tomorrow, that'd be great. But abortions would still be happening. We have to change hearts and minds. We have to do both. We have to change laws and we have to change hearts and minds. And, how do we do that? Well, we have to be there where the abortions are happening. We have to be on the front lines of where they're happening. I wouldn't be here today, standing in front of you, if there hadn't have been people standing